So hi, Nicolas.
Hi.
We are here on the SoundForce booth, and you've got a new chorus module, right?
Yes, actually two. There's a compact one and a bigger one. And for my other Juno themes modules, I also have a big one and a small one that you can see in the rack. So there's the small version, which is basically the classic Juno mode of number one, number two, with the 1+2. You have stereo inputs, stereo outputs, and it's the same audio path as the original Juno chorus found in the 60 and 106. So that's for, it's 4 HP, will be about 200 euros. If you just want the classic sound, you want to turn it on and off, almost like a guitar pedal, or the small one is a possibility. Then on the bigger one, you have different options. You have the same off, on, 1, 2, 1+2, but you can also turn on manual mode. And in manual mode, you can control the LFO that's creating the effects using BBD chips. You can set how fast the LFO needs to be, how deep you want the modulation. You can change the waveforms with a few basic waveforms, and there's different ranges for the frequency of the LFO. And all those controls, they're only working in manual mode. In 1 and 2, you only have a mix control, which is a mix between the input signal and the output of the BBD delays. So it's really set it up in the middle, and you have the same original Juno balance, but you can also control it with CV using the mixed CV input, and this is analog, so it's using VCA, so you can do pretty aggressive AM high frequency modulation of the mix to really switch between mono input and stereo output at really high frequency, giving you actually more interesting and more weird sounds. So in the manual mode, you can also modulate the BBDs very fast, creating droney, really weird noises. So it's not just the cute and pretty chorus that everybody knows. You can do that, but it doesn't have to.
So in terms of the circuitry, is it a kind of direct copy with the added features?
Yes.
Right, okay.
So the audio path is the same. It's you have the dry sound mixed with the wet sound. And the wet sound is a filter, the BBD chip, and another filter. And the BBD chip is using the X5 MN3009, which is actually a clone of the original BBD that people also used to repair the Juno 160 and 106. So in terms of the changes that I made in those modules is that they're driving the BBD chips is using clocks. The clocks are not generated by the old BBD drivers. It's using a modern microcontroller. And because of that, I can also add now more control, change the waveforms. The 1 and 2 modes, the clock driver signals, they were sampled from my own Juno 106, so they really they give you the genuine sounds. And because the audio path is the same, it's a very similar sound. You also have the external mode, and in external mode, you can use an LFO, an external LFO to modulate the BBD. So you have just the attenuation of that LFO to control the depth of modulation and where do you want to start in the delay times.
So should we hear a bit of it then?
Yes. So I'm gonna demo it using the polyphonic, the extravagant polyphonic Juno 4-voice patch, which are using 4 DCOs, 4 VCA and VCFs. It's all going through MIDI. MIDI is coming from the key step. It's split into monophonic MIDI, so everything is in tune, everything is really stable, like in the original synth. This is more like an extravagant demonstration to also bring those modules back into the original context of that instrument. So let's play some sounds.
Brilliant. Sounds great.
So what I tried to demonstrate is that you can get the classic sound with this module, the big one, but you can also sort of circuit bend the original chorus circuit in order to reach weird things that could be timed to other things going on in the system. For example, the LFO could be clocked to the sequence, and you can get your chorus to move left and right. I didn't demonstrate the mix, but if you do the CV modulation of the mixed audio rate, then you get yet another weird stereo effect that's going on top of the chorus.
So when are these two kind of available? Are they available now? What's the kind of
Not yet.
roadmap?
So the small one will be ready in June, and the big one will be ready in July.
And do you have a kind of price point? Or?
Yes. So this is gonna be about 200 euros including tax, and this one 300 euros.
Perfect.
Which translate usually to pounds and dollars, around the same thing.
Brilliant. So thank you very much, Nicolas.
Thanks for coming by.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.